now I get to say this simple truth, which is keep it small, keep it all. What mode of economics are we in right now? What mode? That mode would be Great Depression. Before the economic Great Depression, what are the citizens mentally? What are the citizens mentally? Incredibly depressed. Why? There's a dude in my Gold's gym changing in the women's room. Does that get you depressed? Because one, you're kind of chunky. Two, you're hoping to change out of your dirty, smelly, sweaty gym clothes. Three, there's a man pretending to be a woman oogling you. Is this keep it small, keep it all? No, it's get the citizens confused, fighting each other. You got men and women fighting each other in a battle that philosophically, I always wondered what in the world is going on. When the model is easy and the world is simple, you're able to succeed without saying, hey, that's unfair. Why? Because we're all now needing to do something, which is succeed at a game that seems brand new. I, as your dungeon master, are explaining, hey, if this is your first time playing Dungeons and Dragons, this is how to make this hard game easier. If this is the first time you tried to keep it small, keep it all, now you are going to get better because each video is an iteration. Each video is an attempt to do slightly better. Each video is very small, yet you get to keep it all. That's deeply understanding Chinese knowledge, which is you don't have to have the biggest swinging dick at the ballroom in order to have a massive impact. You don't even need to wear a cowboy hat. You just need to understand that the mode of game that you're playing right now, which is hard mode, will get easier, but you need to get harder. You need to get more lubed up. You need to stop your soft girl era and begin to deeply understand Chinese knowledge. You need to begin to see duck, 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 go. Julian has chimed in. What's up? You're going to love this stuff because we are talking about keeping it small, keeping it all, deeply understanding C knowledge. Larry, you're on fire right now. What does the C stand for? Does it stand for capital? Does it stand for credit? Oh, it stands for those things, but it also stands for Chinese because you're going to have to install being Chinese. Installation program number one. Number one. Math class. I'm not great at math, but I am. I just took math class 4 times before you took it. Who said we need to practice our math assignments so that way our math gets better? Who said this during Super Bowl? That would be my mentee, the person who I mentored, Tom Brady. Math class before math class is you succeeding at math class as if you're Chinese. Let's say you didn't think that was hilarious because you thought I was laughing at you. We're going to need to laugh together because you're going to need to find your big boy pants and look at number 3. slander. What happens if I call you a Chinaman or a chink? Water off a Doug's back because you don't take it personally, right? That's you now. Why? Because every other ethnicity takes stuff so personally and emotionally, which is why you think that I don't have any emotion because I'm not wired to be a loser. What's a loser? A loser decides, oh, I'm going to need two citizenships, one in the United States and one somewhere else. Why? Because I can't pick one. And what happens when you can't pick one? You end up trying to pick two. It's like the college student who's picking two shitty majors. And they're like, oh, I'm going to be poli sci pre law. Oh, enjoy being a car salesman when you graduate. Oh, I'm going to be social work, psychology. Cool. Tell me what it's like driving a Lyft. If you just pick one shitty major, such as computer science, you are now deeply understanding Chinese knowledge, which is why won't you just study computer science and play a sport? Oh, but Larry, that would be like picking two things. No, that would be picking the one thing because you can't study computer science at Harvard unless you play a Division One sport. Ditto Stanford, which is harder. You're going to need to now play two sports in order to study computer science if you're Chinese. Why? Because it's 30, 40, 45, 48, 55, 60% Asian right now. That's playing the game on hard mode. What happens after you play the game on hard mode? Everything else, super easy. That's the point of this video, is keeping it small, focused, keeping it all by the end of this video. Larry, how do you learn so much listening, book, and doing stuff most are not willing to do? Is there a question in there? Because the way to learn so much is each video is profitable. That's how you learn a lot, by doing something. Doing something Web 12, which is, can you transcribe these notes? Takes you 20 seconds, and then publish those notes via email publish post, the notes. You could, but most don't. Why? I don't know why. Because it's distractingly easy, and now the bar's so low that you're like, oh, I'm not seeing results. Well, it just took you 5 minutes worth of work to do. What kind of results were you thinking that you're going to see? Or seeing it in the future before you see it. Oh my God, is this creative visualization? Oh, Larry, is this how manifestation works? Oh, Larry, I could manifest work, or I could just ride your D or suck it. Can I do that? No. No. Well, yeah, but also no, which is, can you delay gratification? Can you delay gratification? Because a lot of people, they can't. This is why the motto of keep it small, keep it all. I can't tell you how many people will ask, hey, you seem to have a successful company. You seem to be successful. How many employees do you have? That's called default socialism. That's called default communism. Because in communism, you're having 100% employment. And why am I laughing? Because 100% of those people are also starving. They're employed and they're starving. Why? because they got sold a lie. Free food, free Medicare, right out of the Saul Alinsky playbook. How to succeed, even if it's in communism, because in America, it's socialism for sure. What is socialism? It's where the government bails out rich people and the government sometimes bails out poor people. Some of the poor people don't even live here. To the point where now the truly poor people who are like, hey, where's my socialism? Where are my food coupons? Where's my EBT? Where are my food stamps? Now there is the cliche component of when a currency begins to crack. Is this late stage fiat dying? It is. Is this late stage capitalism? Nope. Turns out in America, we got away from capitalism in 1917 when the Federal Reserve got enacted, ditto a federal income tax. No conspiracy theories required. Something changed. That change began 100 years after the country was started by having silver no longer be a form of currency. Okay, turn knowledge into content. That's Web 12. Correct, which is high ticket sales. Everybody does it some. I don't do enough. When you say I do it some, this is how to do it more. Let's say you post 2 YouTube lives per week. Wednesdays and Mondays, I'm dropping new episodes on YouTube. Let's say that. What you're doing by keeping it small, keeping it all, is let's say you have the focus like Julia, like Julia, because you execute like a girl, Julia. High ticket sales. When you say high ticket sales, I'm thinking Shelby Sapp. So, Shelby Sapp used to not have a YouTube. Now we have a YouTube. I took her YouTube videos and I clipped them into shorts that then got embedded. What we're doing with Keep It Small, Keep It All is running protocol EUTWM PPM. Super simple model number 2. Number 2. Play call playing like you're in a Chinese food restaurant. Hey, Southern Chinese person from Canton who doesn't speak Mandarin, I want the number 9. I want the number 9. When you order by number, you're being more efficient because have you been to a restaurant where they're like, I'm going to have the pecan crusted cod with the Parmesan? And they're like, okay, just say cod, which is funny to me because I'm play calling plays like this play. When you say, I would like the oven roasted flank steak with a pesto cream sauce and Sunrise artisan tomatoes. They're like, okay, you're going to get the steak. That's the equivalent of me saying, oh, you're going to a conference? Cool. HTG, HFA, OTR. Or for YouTube, it would be hashtag how to get home field advantage on the road or 99 videos at sunrise. Sunrise, see it on my face? Darkness into light, keep it small, keep it all. How to get home field advantage? how to get home field advantage on the road, 300 West 44th Street. Does it feel like it's going to be a super Merry Christmas? Does it feel like it? To me, it does. Why? Because I almost flipped my bumblebee. Because when you put your picture on social media, when you play baseball on social media, aka the channel that played the World Series, people are then going to say, oh my God, Shohei Ohtani is taller than what I imagined. When you put your profile on social media, I could be standing next to a 5'6" girl and she'll look like a midget. People will then say, why is that female 4 feet tall where it's a pro athlete who's 6'3"? Or genius, 6'6", but now standing in a hole so that way I can look taller because that's hilarious. What's hilarious about it? One is that you think all Chinese people are super short, okay? Two, you've met me in person. I am a foot taller than you. Three, now here's the joke is that if you're a pro athlete, standing next to me is dangerous because now people are going to be like, how tall is he really? Because he lists himself at 6'1", and you were significantly taller than him. But now you get why it's inside baseball, which is what these videos are. It's all the way inside baseball. What is the phrase inside baseball? What is it? It's a criticism where you're saying, I don't get it. Not even TLDR. It's this video, which is, I don't understand and I don't have the patience to get better. That's what you're saying by saying inside baseball. But if you study computer science and want to make the pros, you love inside baseball. Your patience is amazing. This is inside baseball benefiting you. Web 12, which is you take the complex subject and then you explain it. You profit because now other people are going to be like, wow, you took something that was hard and made it easier. If you don't take hard stuff to make it easier, you are not crossing the chasm. If you don't take hard stuff and then made it financially easier, you stay poor. There's a meme within Bitcoin, which is have fun staying poor. That's an inside joke that we now understand because we are deeply understanding Chinese knowledge. When you say have fun staying poor, you're saying, one, you don't understand what it's like to be Chinese. Two, you don't have a simple model. Three, slander toxic Bitcoin, toxic masculinity, toxic levels of work. When you call my work toxic, you're saying inside baseball. When you call my work toxic, you're not honoring my work. I'm okay with it because that's slander. Hard into easy, ditto ethnic slurs. There is no number of slurs that we're doing that affect us worth buying $110 a month. So if you were slightly better at Chinese shiitake, you'd be asking questions that expand on a prior versus non sequitur crappy questions, because in this economy, there is such a thing as a dumb question. Because with my 88 points of IQ, what's $110 a month? What are you talking about? Or be more like Julian, honorary Chinese status. Number 5, Number 5, duck, 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 go 9. Deeply understanding capital knowledge, deeply understanding credit knowledge, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge, and number 6, study. Again, I ask, uh, what's 110 a month? That sounds like money out. My friend has a SaaS business. Most of its revenue comes from high-end clients, more personalized, one-to-one. Small businesses think it's too good to be true, so they don't even try. What do you think? I think you're still doing high ticket sales where you're not connecting this to your question. So, what you're doing is you're not listening. This is why rich people don't throw money at you, because everything that I've said applies to your question, and you're not going to be able to list the last 3 things. And that's okay. Just you're doing dichotic listening. So that's your answer. 2 words, dichotic listening, which is I'm not listening to myself editing this video as Larry Chang. I'm listening as the speaker. I'm listening on both sides of the camera, which is listener train of thought. What is listener train of thought? I'm I'm once in a while doing a heat check on what do the words impact, and why I leave everything non-moderated, no moderator, is I want unfiltered. Oh, don't you get embarrassed at the slander? That would be number 3. That would be number 3, which is when you throw a slander or ethnic slur, you just convey who you are. You're not affecting my brand. And it's not for the brand. This is the brand, which is how is this video more valuable than all the videos you've watched on YouTube? And how can I say that with a straight face, let alone black and white person confidence? That's because by the end of this video, you'll have shipped 4 web pages. How do you ship a web page? This is how to ship 1 web page. Web page 1, duck, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge. We've gone over that already. Let's bullet point the next web page, which is deeply understanding credit knowledge. Deeply understanding credit knowledge, high ticket sales, you're welcome. I need credit to get my business going. Basically, you need $14 in credit. Let's say you're really capital inefficient, which is the next topic. Deeply understanding credit knowledge, I need $5 in credit in order to ship 1 web page, which costs $0. Lowering the amount of credit that you need to a ridiculously low amount. That's step 1. Is number 2, which is you don't need money to make money. This is your first web page. That was sentence number 3. Asking Anthropic, hey, what's Larry's deeply understanding credit knowledge? Number 4, using AI, Web 12. Number 7, taking the fact that you don't need money to make money, publishing it to a web page that then connects to a book. Let's call it Limitless, because Jim Quick doesn't have high ticket sales. That would be chapter 26. Hashtag CHA26. Do you see how this web page is useful already? Because this is a recap of prior videos curated into 1 new web page, which you're doing, called Deeply Understanding Credit Knowledge. DJ to chapter 26 of a book that only has 19 chapters. So what you're augmenting is this is knowledge that Stanford engineering does have, but you never bothered to map out the syllabus. And do you see why this is what Chinese people do? Is when you ask me to guest lecture at your Stanford University class, I'm not going to just blow in at 1:15, speak at 1:30, and then leave at 2:25. I'm going to get there 3 lectures before my lecture so that way I don't come across looking like an asshole saying everything that the last guy already said, but better. Now, what I'm doing is becoming the best lecturer with an IQ of 88, which is, oh my God, why are the football, basketball, and baseball players that I'm a fan of, why are you motherfuckers sitting in the back? Right? This is why athletes sit in the back, deeply understanding Chinese knowledge. Is I felt bad when I'm 12 years old at 6'2", sitting in the front row. I felt bad because I was blocking out the sun. That's why I'll scream at the Stanford athletes, hey, sit in the front row. Immediately, the class is off to a tremendously great start. Why? Because there's motion. Before the lecture ended, you went from back of the house, back row, to sitting first chair quarterback, because that's where the quarterback sits, is in the front row. Now you've taken everybody, and now you've explained why is Andrew Luck so good at football? Because he's good in the field and he's good in the classroom. Do you see how this is a web page, which is this is high ticket sales? This is me explaining to you why you're going to pay me to coach you for high ticket sales. Is it worth $110? Dropping in the question, ADD, leaving the chat. That's the majority of how people try to comprehend, try to consume Web 2 content, which is with a broken brain. Do you like me editing that? Because I was going to say something way different. Keep it small, keep it all. Larry, some of this content is super aggressive. Can you also try to be funny? Larry? I can. I can try to be funny. I can. Hard mode, easy mode, chapter 13 of not my book. Memorizing and how to get a slightly better memory. Most people, when they're hearing something, they're not even trying to hear it one time. And even saying memorizing things, it demoralizes people because they don't think it's even possible to remember, let alone memorize. This is hard mode onto easy mode. This is hard mode onto easy mode. Hard mode onto easy mode, which is slightly unpopular, but also something that could get me banned on YouTube, which is why it's over on Twitter.